Hey there, Neema is my name. I'm a mother of three children, and the eldest happens to be on the spectrum. I'm also a pediatrician. I've been a pediatrician for the last 12 years. Yes, 12 years. And I do both virtual and physical consultations. I'm also a trainer. I train people and institutions really at different capacities on how best we can be able to live with children and people who are on the spectrum. Because what I do believe is we may not necessarily need to change people who are on the spectrum to fit into our world, but if we who are on the typical, we will be able to understand more those who are on the spectrum, it will make it easier for everyone. Yeah. And also I do that virtually and physically. Yeah. And today I want to introduce to you Autism and Beyond. So Autism and Beyond is birthed from that need of me wanting to share my story and experience as a mother who is, parenting and nurturing a child on the spectrum, but also as a pediatrician. And I've been privileged to see quite a number of these children. Yeah. So really what Autism and Beyond is about is that we are going to discuss on how do I know my child is on the spectrum? What do I need to do? Where do I need to go? When they do this, what does it mean? Really understanding what autism is all about and what you can do to help your child. Okay. And even more important now, me looking at my son, whom we're going to start 10 to 20 the next 10 years, which will really be about adolescence, teenagehood, talent recognition, talent development, career development, following their passion. As a parent, I really want to share this journey with you because I believe I'm not alone, and there are so many other parents who are on this space, the space I'm currently in right now. And so when we put our heads together and share our experiences, we are able to nurture and parent our children better, even though they are on the spectrum. So that's really what Autism and Beyond is all about. We'll be sharing, my past experience for the last 10 years and also the 10 years and above. Okay. So if you're a parent who you've just received that diagnosis and you don't know where to start, please stick around. Okay. Let me know if you have any specific questions that you'd want me to talk about, or you have a specific topic, maybe what really applies to you at where you are with your child on the spectrum. It will be an honor for me to be able to address those first. Okay. And this is my little story. So I got my son when I was already a pediatrician, and I remember him not having eye contact, not being able to smile when you smile at him as you'd expect any other child to do. But really that was not even a problem to me. I noticed that there was an actual problem when his speech was significantly delayed. By 18 months, he started having this gibberish speech, and all of us would not be able to understand what he was saying. So when we noticed that, what we did, just like any other parent, you would, cut down on screen time, allow him to interact more with other children, and also be able to have this one-on-one play times with him, like very intentional play times with him. That helped him, especially for his fine motor, the crayons, coloring, him being able to hold a pen, crayons. That helped him to pick a few vocabularies when he went out to play with the other kids about him. So fast forward, we were invited for a birthday party, and I remember when we just entered that house, everyone was so excited to see him. You know how the kids with autism, they usually attract this attention, yeah? So everyone was so excited, including the kids. They were so excited to see him, and they started shouting his name, and he took off. Like, he just turned and took off towards the door. And I had to hold him, and I was like, okay, it's fine, it's fine. For me, I thought he just was a bit shy and did not want to really be part of, all this attention, yeah? So I convinced him, and we managed to get into the house, but he did not want to stay where everybody was. So we went to the backyard of the house, and he was just pacing, touching flowers here and there, looking for his sticks. He loved sticks, all these straight objects. And that's what we really did most of the time. And everything was okay till when the birthday they started, people started singing happy birthday, and the music was put on, and I remember him fly. I mean, he took off. I was not even able to catch him. Thank God that gate was closed. So he went there, sat on the gate, was covering his ears all along, and he was really screaming. So I had to go there, hug him. So this was, for me, this was the first time I actually saw him having a meltdown. I had not seen him having a meltdown. Yeah, that this was his first meltdown. I really felt pain in my heart. It felt so bad that I should have, now we start blaming, like I should have known this and, protected him from all this and all that. But yeah, there it was. And for meltdown, there's really nothing much you can do. So I was just there with him. He cried and cried and cried. And all this time he was pointing towards the gate like, we need to go, we need to go, we need to go. Yeah. And so I remember we had to leave. So for me, this was a wake-up call. And I remember the next day, we just had to go see a doctor, and yes, the diagnosis was confirmed. It's a heavy diagnosis. I mean, if you've been there, you understand what I'm talking about. It's such a heavy diagnosis. But if you are a parent and you've just received a diagnosis for your child, let me just encourage you. It's very heavy, and allow you to go through all the emotions, please. It is okay to feel whatever you're feeling. Okay, so go through all the emotions. Try as much as you can to see your child for who they are and not for who you wish they were. Okay, and then one thing I can tell you, my son is 10 years, so I've been here for quite a bit. It gets better with time. You get to understand more about your child, and also your child also gets to understand more about the world they live in. Okay, so it gets to a point where you find a balance with time. And I'll pray that, of course, like when I talk of a balance, please do not do not misunderstand me. It's not like now you're going to have all these blissful moments. No, it means you'll be able to predict some things in your child's life. So, and be able to know this works for him, this doesn't work, this works for him, this doesn't work. So that's really what I mean by balance. Okay, and also what I would encourage you to do is join communities like ours where you have other parents sharing their experiences, so that you don't feel like you're the only person in this world parenting a child on the spectrum. Okay, and for us who are now entering into the pre-adolescence, adolescence, teenagehood, and all these other this other part, I really hope we'll be able to do this gracefully for us and also for our children, and you also gonna stick around. Yeah, and so yeah, so if this is something that you really want to be part of, it will be an honor for you to please take time and subscribe, click the button so that you're able to be notified every time we have a new video. And even more important, please let me know if you have any specific topics that you'd want me to start with. If you have questions, it will be an honor for me to answer you guys. And please share the word out there so that at the end of the day we are able to create a beautiful community where we can be able to confidently live with our children and be able to nurture them to become the best versions of themselves.